This happened over 20 years ago. At the time, I was working as a part-time freelancer and decided to participate in a clinical trial. I think it paid over 400,000 yen for just under a month. There were 10 participants in total. The initial screening was conducted in Tokyo, but the actual trial took place in another prefecture. We traveled 2 hours by bullet train, followed by a 90-minute car ride. The area was extremely remote, almost deserted. As we approached the facility, we passed through a high-walled compound that surrounded a cluster of cold, lifeless buildings. When we arrived, we were told to wait outside for a while. That's when we heard it. A blood-curdling scream, NGGGHHH, ah. We turned to see where the sound was coming from, and then we saw him. A massive figure, well over 2 meters tall, sprinting toward us. His face was deformed, almost like Frankenstein's monster. Before any of us could react, one of our group members was body-checked with unbelievable force and sent flying. That's when panic set in. We scattered in every direction, running for our lives. A group of 3 security guards rushed in to restrain him, but it wasn't enough. Even after 10 guards and a few doctors joined in, it took all their strength to subdue him and drag him away. I was terrified. What kind of place was this? What exactly were we getting into? The facility, our living quarters, were in a 2-story building. The second floor had 1. A room full of beds, neatly lined up. 2. A tatami room with a TV and some books. That was it. We had to spend a full month in this place. I don't remember exactly what kind of drug they were testing, but every day, we had to receive a 2-hour IV drip and get our blood drawn 3 times. At first, everything seemed normal. But about a week in, things started to go wrong. The alarms one night, a loud siren blared through the facility. I rushed to the window and saw a man being restrained by security guards. I opened the window to listen. He was screaming, "I can't take this anymore. Please, let me go home." A night shift nurse came in and calmly told us, "Don't worry about it. Just go to bed." But then, something even worse happened. The swelling one by one, our bodies began to change. Our faces and limbs swelled up abnormally. At first, I thought it was just me, but it wasn't. Everyone was experiencing it. A and B, 2 participants I had gotten close to, were seasoned clinical trial veterans. They had participated in multiple trials before, but they immediately sensed that something was wrong. In a normal trial, B said, the moment side effects appear, they stop the test immediately. But here, they're ignoring it completely. This is not normal. By the second week, our faces were so swollen that we barely recognized each other. We couldn't take it anymore. The protest, we demanded that the trial be stopped. The doctors refused. The drug is perfectly safe. Your blood tests show no abnormalities. There's nothing to worry about. That was bullshit. We looked far from okay. A and B tried begging, "We don't need the money. Just let us go home." Still, the doctors refused. "You signed a contract. It clearly states that you must complete the trial. You already gave your consent and sealed it with your signature. You will stay here until the end." We were trapped. Escape plan that night, A, B, C, and I met in secret. We had one choice left: we had to escape. The staircase to the first floor was locked. We were effectively imprisoned. But there was one way out: the window. We tied together 4 bed sheets, securing them to one of the bedposts. One by one, we climbed down. We made it. But just as we landed, the sirens blared again. The Great Escape, we had no time to reach the exit. Instead, we ran to the perimeter wall, over 2 meters high. Using pure adrenaline, we climbed it and jumped over to the other side. We landed outside the facility, but there was nothing but darkness. No lights. No roads. Not even a street lamp. We had to walk to the nearest station, a 7-hour journey. When we finally arrived, we were exhausted. We didn't have money for the bullet train, so we took local trains back to Tokyo. By the time I got home, it was nighttime. The final threat: as soon as I collapsed onto my bed, my phone rang. It was the facility. "What do you think you're doing? If you miss even a single day of 4 treatment, we will have to start the trial all over again. You must return to the facility immediately. If you fail to comply, we will take legal action against you," I snapped. "Screw you. If anyone's suing anyone, it's me suing you." Then I slammed the phone down. Aftermath: the next day, I developed a high fever. I was bedridden for 10 days. The swelling gradually subsided over the course of a month. The facility never contacted me again. But I still wonder, what happened to the 6 people who stayed behind?